The coin rattling in your pocket, the one caked in grime and ignored for years, might just be a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. We are talking about Lincoln cents so battered, so scratched, and so ugly that most people would throw them back into circulation without a second thought. Yet these very imperfections could make them worth more than a month's rent. In today's deep dive, we are uncovering the shocking truth behind these damaged survivors, where every scuff tells a story and every stain adds to the mystery. Prepare to have everything you thought you knew about coin collecting turned upside down, because the most valuable treasures are often the ones that look completely worthless. Stay with us, because what we are about to reveal will make you raid every jar, drawer, and old box in your house. Today we are diving deep into the world of numismatics to explore a coin that might just be hiding in your spare change jar, or perhaps tucked away in a dusty old collection. We are talking about the 1963 Lincoln Memorial Cent, a piece of American history that, for the most part, is very common, but under the right conditions can be surprisingly valuable. While many overlook these copper pennies, certain specimens command impressive premiums, and we're going to uncover exactly what makes them so special, focusing on their worth and rich history. To understand the 1963 penny, we have to look at the context of its creation. The early 1960s were a time of significant economic growth and stability in the United States, which led to the production of massive quantities of coinage. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 754 million pennies, while the Denver Mint produced a staggering 1.77 billion coins with the D Mint mark. This high mintage was typical for the era, as the Lincoln cent served as the backbone of daily commerce, a constant reminder of American values and progress as the nation navigated civil rights movements and technological advances. However, this very abundance is what makes the search for a high-quality specimen akin to finding a needle in a haystack. The design itself is a classic example of American coinage artistry, blending the old with the new. The obverse features the iconic right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that has graced the penny since its introduction in 1909, with the word liberty to his left and the date to his right. The reverse, however, marks a more modern chapter, featuring Frank Gasparo's design of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a motif that replaced the original wheat ears design in 1959. The inscription, EPLUBUSUNUM, sits centered above the memorial, while 1 cent and United States of America frame the building at the top and bottom. This iconic memorial reverse design is a key identifier for this era of the Lincoln cent. Now let's talk about rarity, because that's where the real story of value begins. Despite the massive mintages, the 1963 penny can be incredibly scarce in pristine, uncirculated condition. For a business-strike penny from Philadelphia, finding a specimen in MS-67 grade is extraordinarily difficult, with experts estimating that only a few dozen examples exist in this elite tier, and there are likely none graded higher than MS-67. This scarcity is due to the nature of the minting process itself. Despite high production numbers, it's a testament to the difficulty of producing a flawless coin. Even the proof coins, struck at the Philadelphia Mint with a special, highly polished finish, number just over 3 million, and finding one in perfect, cameo contrast is a challenge that collectors relish. The collector demand for these coins is driven by their place in the beloved Lincoln cent series, specifically the Memorial Reverse era. While not a key date in the traditional sense, the 1963 cent is a staple for any collector assembling a complete set. The pursuit is all about condition and eye appeal. A coin with vibrant, original red, RD color, as opposed to one that has toned to red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, is significantly more desirable and commands a premium because it suggests it has been perfectly preserved since the day it was struck. This quest for the perfect, brilliant red copper surface is a major driver of the coin's value. So what is this coin worth in today's market? It's a tale of two extremes. A circulated 1963 penny is essentially worth its copper melt value, which fluctuates but is typically a few cents. For uncirculated examples, the value starts to climb. A standard MS-63 red, RD business strike can fetch around $2.60, while an MS-65 red piece might sell for roughly $8 to $11, depending on the mint mark. However, the real money lies at the top of the grading scale. A stunning 1963 proof coin graded PR69 Deep Cameo, a piece that is nearly flawless and boasts intense frost on the devices with a mirror-like background, is a serious rarity that can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at major auctions. For instance, high-grade proof specimens have been known to achieve prices from $30 to over $100, with the rarest Deep Cameo examples commanding even more. For collectors looking to add a 1963 penny to their collection, the key is to focus on condition and proper certification. Because examples are plentiful in lower grades, it's wise to save for a coin that has been professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Look for coins with the RD designation to ensure the original mint luster is intact, and don't be afraid to hunt for high-grade examples. While finding a perfect specimen in your pocket change is a long shot, you might find a nice example in old coin rolls or at local coin shops. Paying attention to the surface, color, and strike quality is essential, as these are the factors that distinguish a common penny from a valuable collectible. In conclusion, the 1963 Lincoln Memorial Cent is a fantastic gateway into the world of coin collecting. It embodies the beauty of numismatics, where history, art, and rarity converge to turn an everyday object into a treasure. Its accessibility makes it perfect for beginners, while its elusive high-grade gems offer a thrilling challenge for seasoned veterans. Whether you are a history buff or a serious investor, this coin represents a tangible piece of America's story. And that story doesn't end here. If you enjoyed learning about the 1963 penny, you won't want to miss our next episode, where we will be uncovering the secrets and remarkable value of the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent. Trust us, you won't want to miss that one. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting. Another deep dive into the world of numismatics, where we uncover the hidden treasures that lie within America's pocket change. Today, we are turning our attention to a coin that, at first glance, might seem ordinary, but under the right conditions, transforms into a prized treasure for collectors. We are talking about the 1964 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a piece that holds a fascinating position in American coinage history. While billions of these coins were struck, the quest for a perfect, high-grade specimen is a thrilling hunt that captivates enthusiasts and commands impressive sums in today's market. To truly appreciate the 1964 D penny, we have to step back and understand its historical context. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint during a pivotal time in American history, a period of economic prosperity and immense cultural change. As the nation mourned the loss of President John F. Kennedy and navigated the complexities of the civil rights era, the humble penny remained a constant in daily commerce. The 1964 D is a member of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, which replaced the iconic wheat ears design in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. With a staggering mintage of over 3.7 billion coins struck in Denver alone, it's one of the most common dates in the series. However, this very abundance makes the search for an exceptional example all the more challenging and rewarding, as it represents a tangible connection to a bygone era of American life. The design of the coin itself is a beautiful blend of classic portraiture and modern architecture. The obverse, or head side, features the enduring right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that has graced the coin since its inception in 1909. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, depicts a detailed frontal view of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. A keen eye will even spot a tiny, almost hidden figure of Lincoln himself, seated inside the memorial's central chamber, making it a unique 2-for-1 design in American coinage. In high-grade uncirculated condition, these coins are dazzling, with original red, RD mint luster that gives the copper surface a brilliant, vibrant glow that is highly sought after by collectors. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, rarity and condition. Despite the enormous mintage, the 1964D penny is a textbook example of how condition dictates value. In circulated grades, it is incredibly common and worth very little, but the landscape changes dramatically as you move up the grading scale. In mint state 65, MS65, they become a bit harder to find, but it's at the MS66 level where they become scarce, with experts estimating fewer than 1,000 examples exist. The real prize is an MS67 specimen, which stands as one of the toughest dates from the 1960s, especially from the Denver Mint. Professional grading services, like PCGS, report that fewer than 24 examples are known in MS67 condition, with none graded higher, making it a true condition rarity. This extreme scarcity in top grades is the primary driver of collector demand and its impressive market value. For a collector assembling a high-end registry set of Lincoln Memorial pennies, the 1964D in MS67 is a crown jewel that is incredibly difficult to acquire. While a typical uncirculated example might be worth a few dollars, the value skyrockets for those elite specimens. The market for these condition rarities is robust, with high-grade coins consistently performing well at auction. While prices can fluctuate, a coveted 1964D penny in MS67 red condition is considered a prized treasure, with values easily reaching into the thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the sale. This demonstrates the power of the condition census in numismatics, where being among the finest known examples of a common date can make it exceptionally valuable. For aspiring collectors looking to chase this coin, the advice is clear. Prioritize certified examples. Purchasing coins already graded by PCGS or NGC ensures you know exactly what you are getting, protecting against overpaying for a coin that might not be as exceptional as it appears. Focus on the color designation, seeking the RD label for original red copper, as brown or red-brown coins are less desirable. Store your prized 1964D in a protective holder to prevent damage and preserve its luster. And finally, engage with the collector community. Attending coin shows or joining online forums can provide incredible insights into market trends and help you find reputable dealers. In conclusion, the 1964D Lincoln Memorial penny is a perfect representation of the enduring appeal of coin collecting. It's a coin that is both common and rare, accessible and elusive. It embodies the thrill of the hunt, where a deep understanding of condition and rarity can turn a seemingly mundane coin into a highly prized asset. Its blend of historical significance, beautiful design, and extreme scarcity in top condition ensures its lasting appeal to numismatists worldwide. And that's not the only coin from this era that offers such excitement. If you were captivated by the story of the 1964D, you won't want to miss our next episode, where we will be uncovering the secrets and staggering value of the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, another classic era that every collector dreams of finding. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting. There exists a dark horse in the world of numismatics, a coin so ugly, so scarred, and so utterly unassuming that it would be easily dismissed by the untrained eye. We are speaking, of course, of the 1977 Lincoln Memorial cent, minted in Philadelphia. This is the most valuable and expensive ultra-rare coin that defies all conventional wisdom, for it proves that beauty is not a prerequisite for breathtaking value. While a perfect, gleaming specimen might fetch a few dollars in a dealer's case, it is the dirty, scratched, and damaged survivor that carries the potential for a staggering fortune, a relic whose very flaws tell a story far more compelling than any pristine example ever could. To understand this anomaly, we must first travel back to the year 1977. The United States was in the midst of a profound cultural and economic shift, emerging from the shadow of Watergate and the Vietnam War while grappling with a stubborn and debilitating inflation that gripped the nation. The cost of living was skyrocketing, and even the production of coinage was under immense pressure due to the soaring price of copper. The United States Mint was working at a feverish pace to keep up with the demands of commerce, churning out billions of pennies to fuel a cash-dependent economy. The Lincoln cent, still bearing the iconic memorial reverse designed by Frank Gasparo, was the workhorse of the nation, a humble piece of copper that facilitated everyday transactions from the local grocery store to the morning newspaper. It is within this context of mass production that we find the seeds of our coin's potential value. The Philadelphia Mint, identifiable by the absence of a mint mark, struck an astonishing 4,469,930,000 of these pennies in 1977. A mintage of nearly 4.5 billion coins inherently suggests that the 1977 cent is one of the most common issues of the entire series. Yet, as seasoned collectors know, high mintage does not always mean low value, a truth that is exemplified by this ugly and damaged coin. The immense supply is precisely what makes any deviation from the norm so extraordinarily rare. When billions of coins are struck to a standard of near perfection, the presence of a significant anomaly, preserved in the coin's damaged state, becomes a statistical needle in a global haystack. Now let's paint a picture of this particular coin's physical condition, for its value is intrinsically tied to its scars. This is not a coin that has simply seen light circulation. This is a coin that has endured a hard life. Imagine a surface marred by deep, crisscrossing scratches that obscure the delicate details of Lincoln's portrait and the hallowed columns of the memorial. The copper, once a vibrant red, is now a patchwork of deep, muddy browns and blacks, a testament to decades of environmental exposure. There may be signs of a lamination flaw, where a sliver of the metal has peeled away, leaving a rough, irregular patch on the surface. Perhaps the date itself is partially obliterated or difficult to read, a victim of a filled dye or severe wear. This is a coin that has been to hell and back, and its devastation is the very thing that makes it a potential treasure. This is where the psychology of the modern collector comes into play. The numismatic community has an insatiable appetite for the unique and the bizarre. For every collector chasing the perfection of a PR69 deep cameo proof, there is another who is captivated by the story of survival. A coin like this, ugly and damaged, holds an emotional appeal that a flawless coin simply cannot match. It tells a story of industrial error, of underground journeys, of near destruction, and of ultimate defiance. It is a conversation piece, a coin that sparks wonder and disbelief, making it a prized, albeit unconventional, centerpiece for a collection focused on error coins or the extremes of the hobby. It is not about perfection, it is about the extraordinary rarity of its unique imperfections. This brings us to the crucial aspect of errors and unusual traits that could explain such a coin's existence. While standard wear accounts for many damaged coins, a dirty and scratched 1977 cent could also be the result of a dramatic mint error that was only discovered later in its life. It could be an off-center strike, where the planchet was misaligned, and the design was struck partially off the metal, creating a coin that is both visually shocking and legally a mint product. It might be a dramatic struck-through error, where a piece of metal or debris got caught between the dies and the planchet, leaving a permanent, deformed impression on the surface. Even a common error like a filled die, which obscures part of the design, can become valuable if the damage is visually severe or part of a larger anomaly. The combination of a pre-existing error and severe post-mint damage makes the coin a singular artifact. The behavior of the modern auction market is the final piece of this puzzle. In an age of social media and viral content, a coin with an extraordinary and shocking appearance can capture the imagination of the public and the attention of collectors worldwide. A well-publicized auction can ignite a bidding war between passionate error collectors and wealthy investors looking for a one-of-a-kind piece of American history. This emotional bidding can cause prices to explode far beyond traditional price guides, as collectors compete to own a piece of numismatic folklore. A dirty, scratched coin that seems worthless to the average person can, in the right auction environment, command a premium that rivals that of a rare, key-date issue. Consider the extreme value scenario. While a typical 1977 penny is worth a single cent, imagine this particular coin is the only known example of a specific and dramatic error, a combination of a significant off-center strike with a severe lamination flaw and a damaged date. all on a standard copper planchet. In a specialty auction, the uniqueness of the piece could create a frenzy. While a standard uncirculated example might be worth a few dollars, and a pristine MS-68 red example might reach a modest premium, this damaged and unique survivor could achieve a shocking auction outcome, potentially reaching into the low six-figure range. This is not a guarantee, but a theoretical possibility driven by its unparalleled uniqueness. Coin collecting is not a pursuit of the perfect. It is a pursuit of the extraordinary. The 1977 Lincoln Memorial Cent, in its most damaged and ugly state, embodies this truth. It is a historic survivor, a tangible piece of the late 1970s economy that has weathered the storm of time. Its value is not in its luster, but in its undeniable scarcity and the compelling story it tells. So, before you dismiss that dirty, scratched old penny you find in a jar or a roll, take a second look. Examine its date, inspect its flaws, and remember that in the world of numismatics, the ugliest duckling can often be the most valuable swan. This coin is a testament to the unpredictability of the hobby and the enduring allure of a good old-fashioned treasure hunt. We are pulling a coin from the depths of your spare change jar, a coin that looks like it has seen the inside of a washing machine and a construction site, and we are asking a question that defies logic. Could this ugly, scratched, and toned 1993 Lincoln Memorial Cent actually be worth a small fortune? The answer, as we are about to discover, is a resounding yes, but only under a very specific set of extraordinary circumstances that make this humble copper-plated zinc piece a true chameleon of the coin world. To understand the 1993 D penny, we must first set the stage with the year it was born. 1993 was a year of transition and change in America. The Cold War had recently ended, and the nation was looking forward with a mix of optimism and uncertainty. President Bill Clinton was in his first year in the White House, and the country was grappling with the early days of the digital revolution. Meanwhile, the United States Mint was operating at full capacity, churning out billions of coins to fuel the economy. The Lincoln Cent, now in its 34th year of the memorial reverse design, had become an institution, a coin so common that it was virtually invisible in daily life. Yet it was in this year that the Denver Mint, identifiable by the small d mint mark, struck an astronomical 6,426,650,571 of these cents, a number so vast it seems to defy comprehension. The coin itself is a masterpiece of modern design, blending two distinct artistic visions. The obverse, or head side, features the stoic and iconic right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that has remained virtually unchanged since the coin's introduction in 1909. The reverse, crafted by the talented Frank Gasparo, depicts the Grand Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a structure that has become synonymous with American democracy. This classic design is rendered on a small 19mm planchet weighing 2.5 grams, composed of a copper-plated zinc core, a composition that has been standard since 1982. In pristine, uncirculated condition, this coin would gleam with a brilliant red luster, but our specimen, worn, scratched, and toned, tells a very different story. Now let us address the elephant in the room, the mintage numbers. With over 6.4 billion coins struck in Denver alone, the 1993 D is one of the most common dates in the entire Lincoln Memorial series. By traditional logic, a coin of such immense abundance should be worth no more than its face value, and indeed, in average circulated condition, this is precisely the case. However, the numismatic world is defined by nuance, and mintage alone is a deceptive metric. The true rarity of a coin is often determined by its survival rate in high grades, and this is where our ugly, scratched, and toned coin suddenly becomes a subject of intense interest. This brings us to a deep analysis of survival, strike quality, and collector demand. The vast majority of the billions of 1993 D cents produced entered circulation, where they were subjected to the wear and tear of commerce. Finding a coin that has survived in perfect, uncirculated condition is a challenge. For instance, while a coin in MS-66 red condition is relatively scarce, A specimen in MS68 red is an extreme condition rarity, with only a handful known to exist. It is this pursuit of the absolute finest examples that drives the market. A typical 1993 D cent in circulated fine condition is worth a penny, and even a coin in uncirculated MS60 condition might only fetch a modest premium, perhaps around $3.50. But the value escalates dramatically as the grade rises, with an MS67 red specimen commanding significant attention and an MS68 red piece potentially realizing thousands of dollars in a competitive auction. However, the true potential for shock value lies not just in condition, but in the rare varieties and errors that can transform this common coin into a legendary treasure. Our scratched and toned coin could be hiding a secret. Perhaps it is a 1993 D double die reverse, a known variety where the design elements, such as extra columns on the Lincoln Memorial, appear doubled. These varieties, while subtle to the untrained eye, are highly sought after by specialists and can command a substantial premium. More dramatically, imagine that our coin is a mule, a stunning mint error where a coin is struck with dies meant for a different denomination. Such an error is incredibly rare, but in 2010, a 1993 D Lincoln cent that was struck with a dime reverse die sold at auction for an astounding $138,000, proving that the most valuable coins are often the ones that were never meant to exist. The existence of these varieties brings us to the critical importance of surface preservation, originality, and professional grading. The scratches and tunning on our coin, while visually unappealing, are now a part of its identity. However, it is crucial to distinguish between natural tunning and damage from cleaning. A coin that has been harshly cleaned will be stripped of its original luster and will never be eligible for a top grade, as professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can detect these alterations. The RD designation, indicating full original red luster, is the holy grail for modern Lincoln cent collectors, and any deviation into RB, red-brown, or BN, brown, can significantly impact value. For our scratched coin, its value would depend entirely on whether its imperfections are considered natural wear or environmental damage. Finally, we must consider the power of registry set competition and the modern auction market. In the digital age, collectors are not just collecting coins, they are building competitive sets. The PCGS and NGC registries allow collectors to showcase their finest coins, and completing a set with the highest possible grades is a point of immense prestige. For a collector building a top-pop registry set of Lincoln Memorial cents, finding a 1993 D in MS68 red, or a rare era variety, is a necessity, not a luxury. This competition, combined with the global reach of platforms like Great Collections, creates a perfect storm where emotional bidding and the desire for uniqueness can cause prices to explode. While a typical 1993 D is worth its face value, an elite specimen or a dramatic error is a trophy that commands a 5- or even 6-figure sum, cementing its place as a high-value collectible under extraordinary circumstances.